Hey folks, Aaron here. Welcome back to my anime review. Today we're looking at episode 11 of Death March, the second to last episode of what possibly is the first season of Death March, because I would find it very hard to believe that this is the end of the series. Like, it can't be the way it is today. But I will say, I enjoyed this week's episode. I know that's crazy. I know for a lot of you who have been noticing, I kind of don't really like this series in particular, or I kind of struggle to find good things to say about it. This week's episode was solid overall. I really enjoyed it. It had a nice setup for what could be a season finale, next week. But I to the people that are really in love with the light novel for this, I can't really relate to that because I've never read the light novel adaptation, or the original source material, I should say in this case. I've only seen the anime adaptation, so I do apologize for that. I don't want to hate on your series, obviously, if you really are a diehard fan of it. But you can probably say that the anime adaptation probably does have significantly more problems than the light novel series. And from some people who aren't huge fans of the light novel and have told me they have read it though and see what's wrong with the light novel, the anime adaptation, they can relate to it. So I know I'm not crazy in saying that some things feel rushed at times, some things don't feel really that fleshed out, some things just feel kind of melancholy or kind of boring in general. And then you have episodes like this week where everything about this week's episode was overall solid. It worked like a charm for the episode. We have skipping, I'm not going to talk all about the first part because I think the first part was kind of just to show, hey, Satou's continuing his training with trying to make potions and magic and all this other stuff, etc. But the thing is that he's continuing it and he's getting better at it. He still has a long way to go, obviously, because you see that he makes this weird. It was like a rectangular, I want to say board that you can infuse your magic into it, but then it's exploding at one point because he put too much magic in it. And it's like, what's the purpose of that? What was the end goal for that, Satou? I don't know, but let's give him credit. This dude gets laid by every girl imaginable. His own party of lolies want to lay him, which as he says, and I appreciate Satou saying this, he's like as their guardians because he technically is their master of sorts. He doesn't want to do that. He feels like that's unethical. So, as I think one of my commenters said a few episodes back when Satou had visited that love hotel of sorts, it makes sense why he has these relationships, with these, well, I don't say relationships, but what I mean, like those one night stands with these other girls because he just doesn't want to have it with his entourage of lolies because he thinks that's kind of weird, and I don't blame him. That is kind of weird. It didn't really work as an idea in the smartphone isekai anime that came out last year. I mean, at least I kind of like that all the girls said they loved him right away, the main dude in that show. But at the same time, it's like morally, that's weird. You have what, 7 girls? I get it's a harem. I get this show kind of has a harem element to it too, but it's like it's not going to work here. This is where the harem stuff wouldn't work for the most part. But why I like this week's episode was it had to really do with the main premise of what we're going into with the Forest of Illusions, where Satou, while he was searching to continue the map flow around this thing where he was exploring, ends up in the Forest of Illusions and gets attacked by a mage apprentice, or excuse me, a witch's apprentice, but learns that they just do that because they don't know who's coming into it. It's like a defense barrier. And we learn from the actual witch of the forest who says that they do that because they just want to make sure that their home, this beautiful place, is not disturbed by people and not attacked or threatened, which makes sense. I mean, so what they end up doing is they actually have this contract with the kingdom that's next door that tells them, hey, listen, if you make 300 vials of this potion, we won't attack you. We will leave your force alone, but you have to do that twice a year. And lo and behold, that becomes a big factor in how Satou is learning how to make potions and learning how to make vials and everything else because of that. Because on her way to deliver the potions the next day, the little witch's apprentice, I keep saying mage for some reason, the little witch's apprentice gets attacked by the viceroy, who's trying to actually stop this I want to say kind of deal that they have from happening anymore, because he wants to destroy her land and rule this kingdom and make his own little kingdom on it. So it's like it actually works. It's a good setup. It really was like, oh, okay, everything made sense, everything was concluding correctly. And Satou's reason for being is that he loved that forest. He felt at home there. He was looking around and he had, I think, a genuine appreciation for why it was so beautiful and why they want to protect it so much. So it all worked out. I think that's kind of interesting. So, was this week's episode amazing? I don't think it was amazing, but it worked pretty well, and I think it's good for a setup, like I said, for the season finale, because I presume that most likely, we're going to have another season of this eventually. I don't know how long the light novel series is. I don't even know if it's done. I really don't know too much information about it. Let me know in the comments below. How many seasons do you think they could actually do with Death March, if they even will do any more? Because I don't actually think that Death March is doing that incredibly well in terms of popularity. And I'm not even just talking about in the West. I'm talking about just in general. I really haven't seen a lot of tweets about Death March and, and Japanese things that I follow. So it's just, I don't know. I don't think it's going to be a series that probably even will get a season 2. But, we can see what happens. Anyways, guys and girls, what do you think about this week's episode? I would love to hear from you guys always in the comments below. I will talk to you guys later. I should have Violet Evergarden out probably tonight. If not tonight, it might be tomorrow, only because we have to see, I might be busy tonight. I got other things to do today. So, unfortunately, I didn't even want to put this out so early, but because usually I wait till 3 o'clock on a school day for my younger viewers. But the thing is that I kind of have to do it now because I do have other things to do later today. I got to get dinner and shop around and stutter. So, and other stuff. I just said stutter. What the? I don't know. Anyways, I will talk to you guys later. God bless you all. Have a great day. If I don't see you in my next review, I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye, everyone.